If you're looking to move to the Portland metro area or somewhere here in Oregon wine country, make sure you click that subscribe button. We talk all about Portland and Oregon wine country and the neighborhoods, the market, the things to do on this channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you are up to date and you can learn the area and where might be the best fit for you. All right, today we're in McMinnville, Oregon, and we're not just anywhere in McMinnville, we're right here in historic downtown McMinnville on 3rd Street. Today we're gonna explore this neighborhood a little bit, downtown itself, and some of the neighboring neighborhoods right here to the north of it, the historic northeast neighborhood. So stick with me. If you've watched me at all, you know that I love a great downtown. And McMinnville to me has one of the best in Yamhill County for sure, if not all of the Portland metro area. I absolutely love it down here. It's active, vibrant. We're here on a beautiful Monday afternoon, so it's a little bit quieter today, but especially on the weekends, this is super busy. You have all these shops, restaurants, tasting rooms, you have places to stay down here. This is actually the hub of the Yamhill County area. So this is the city seat for Yamhill County, the biggest city here in Yamhill County, about 35,000 people. And just a vibrant community, lots to do down here. You can just see all of the shops and restaurants here as I'm walking around. There's just a lot to do down here. During the summer months and the fall, you have the farmers market down here, all the local vendors coming down. Obviously, that's a great place to get, your local fruits, vegetables. Great place to hang out with the community. Also, you have, these tasting rooms, art galleries here that are for the art walks. Down this direction, actually about a block or so over, is Davis. If you go south on Davis, you're gonna get right to Linfield University, the local university here. So super convenient for college students down that way as well to get downtown. And then if you're turning back north here, going towards the Northeast Historic District, is the neighborhood right next door. So really great community there north of downtown. You're gonna see some of the homes here in a minute, but it's really a combination of a lot of older homes, historic homes, a lot of Airbnb, nightly rentals. This is a really desirable area to come if you're coming to visit McMinnville, coming to visit wine country. McMinnville is a great place to stay. It's a destination for a lot of reasons. Obviously the tasting rooms, the wineries, but there's a lot to do down here outside of that as well. You can see across the street some of the restaurants, the different places to stop in and eat, grab a glass of wine. You've got this local market here next to me for your local food. Back the other way is, which we probably pass by it here in a bit, but when I turn around, but Northwest Food and Gifts. Just a lot of local gifts and food and artwork and things like that. Local souvenirs and gifts. I mean, this is a winery tourism driven area. So you're gonna have a lot of those gift shops and tasting rooms and things like that people are looking for when they're visiting the area here. So obviously we talked about tourism and the draw for visiting here for wine country, that sort of thing. But if you're looking to move here, if you want to live here, it's super important too, because what do you want to do? If you live in an area, you want stuff to do, you want places to go, you want restaurants to eat at. Again, right here in historic downtown McMinnville, you have plenty of that, especially if you live in one of the nearby neighborhoods here, which we'll get to in a minute. Walking distance, you can walk right down here, walk down to the shops, the restaurants, the bars, the breweries, the farmers market, all that stuff right here within walking distance. Okay, so we're crossing over Davis here. Across on this side is Union Block Coffee House, which is where I got my coffee from here. And the other direction I mentioned earlier is Linfield College, a little way down that direction. Again, just more shops, more restaurants, more tasting rooms. There's revitalization in some of these, older historic buildings. Up here a little ways is the Mac Theater, which is an ongoing project to revitalize that. I don't think it's going to be a theater anymore. I don't remember what they're going to do with it, but it's going to be pretty cool. It's actually been underway for a while, but just has not been able to, get completed. Projects get delays sometimes, right? It's just how it works. Across the street here, I mentioned Northwest Food and Gifts. Great little spot to stop in, and they have lots of different variety of things there. Got Mac Theater coming up behind me here, so you can see it in the background. That's the old theater downtown here. It's not in operation anymore, but they're doing a cool project there that's going to be eventually. Again, I don't remember what it's going to be, but
But I know it's gonna be cool because I know the developers and they've done some pretty cool stuff. And then you got McMinnville Oregon across the street. A great place to grab a bite to eat, but great place to stay as well. And you can see the historic nature of the buildings, just that vibe, just that old historic charm that you get here in the downtown. The other thing that's great about the downtown, like you can see some cars driving behind me here, but you know, no offense to Newberg. I love the Newberg downtown as well. You know, it is a main thoroughfare through downtown Newberg. And so that's a little bit of a drawback here. This is not a main thoroughfare. You got one direction of traffic each way, fairly light traffic. You're really only coming down here to hang out down here, not to get through to somewhere else. So it makes it nice and walkable. You don't have, you know, big trucks driving through unless they're, you know, bringing stuff to the local restaurants or shops. So super walkable. You got Terravina tasting room across the street. Again, more tasting rooms. So that's really what you're gonna find down here. Tasting rooms, restaurants, breweries, gift shops, lots of places to hang out, live music, all the things you're looking for if you're looking for lifestyle in an area. Okay, we're kind of getting towards the end of downtown here, and definitely had to mention a couple places at the end here. Right here, we got Breweries Brewing. This is one of my favorite breweries here. There's actually several of them here in McMinnville area. Gluten-free, dedicated gluten-free brewery, baked goods. I'm actually personally not really a wine guy. For being here in wine country, it's just not really my thing. I've enjoyed it in the past, just not really what I'm into as much. But a good IPA, especially on a nice hot summer day, love it. And being gluten-free, you know, my options are limited, but Breweries Brewing is a great one. They've got a lot of options. Number one, they've got a lot of different variety, but it's really good quality too. So if you've never had a gluten-free beer, if you have maybe a misconception of, you know, taste, definitely worth trying out for sure. And then across the street here, 1882 Grill, excellent food, great drinks, rooftop spot to eat, rooftop bar, just a really neat place. Definitely a must go to if you're in the area. So again, walking past 1882 Grill. Wish I had time to stop in right now, but actually don't know if they're open. But heading towards northeast McMinnville here, the historic neighborhood. Let's go check it out, and I'll show you a little bit about what that neighborhood's like. Really neat neighborhood, lots of historic homes, really cool vibe, just lots of variety. I think you're gonna love it. Let's go check it out. By the way, before we do get into the northeast neighborhood here, wanted to just mention a spectacular place to stay if you're just visiting or you want to get away, and even if you live in the area, just want to, you know, have a getaway locally. Right here, Atticus Hotel is fabulous, an excellent boutique hotel, great owners, really neat and really uniquely designed inside. So if you want a local stay experience that's unique and special, that's a great place to check out. And just right off of downtown McMinnville, so you've got access to all the shops and restaurants and all that. Okay, as we transition here from downtown to the residential area, a couple things I think you'll notice. Number one, how easy it is to get from the neighborhood to downtown. Number two, you can already start to see it. These classic historic homes, just these craftsman style, you know, quality character homes that are here in this neighborhood. And we're gonna see some more here as we walk into the neighborhood more. Okay, I want you to take a look at some of these homes that are in this neighborhood here. Take this, you know, this one for instance here. Hopefully the sun glare is not too much. Maybe I'll walk this way a little bit. Just classic character. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, these are historic, classic homes, tons of character. If you're looking for something that's not your standard kind of new construction, your cookie cutter, something that's one of a kind and unique, this is absolutely a neighborhood that you should consider, that you're gonna find every property is pretty much one-off, right? That's what you get in these historic neighborhoods. You get those properties that are unique to the neighborhood, unique to the builder. You just didn't have that cookie cutter approach that we have these days. And so you get a lot more of that uniqueness in what you're gonna find here, and just that character and that quality that maybe you're not gonna find in some other neighborhoods. Okay, this is another good spot here. You can see all these little bungalows here. I don't know the sizes of these. I'm guessing these are all, a big chunk of them are little 2-bedroom, 1 baths, 900 to 1,000 square feet. Actually, I remember showing this house way back a long time ago. Remember that house in particular. And then we got a totally different one up here that I'm gonna swing around and show you here. That's just, you know, again, kind of shows that variety, you know, probably late 1800s, you know, Victorian style, much bigger, just much more detail. And you just have that. You have that throughout here in this historic downtown area, historic Northeast historic area of this neighborhood here. You have that variety of size and housing and a little bit of era. There actually hasn't been a ton of infill in here. And when I say infill, I mean like newer infill, where some of your older neighborhoods in, you know, Newberg or especially Portland, you're gonna have, you know, your classic old, you know, 1900s, 1910s home. And then right next door to it, you're gonna have, you know, a brand new construction right next door, right? And so you have, you know, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Some people really like that variety. Some people really like that, you know, having those kind of contrasting styles. And some people really hate it actually. So, you know, I'm not judging one or the other. I'm just saying you don't really have that here. It's all pretty much the older classic homes. The infill that happened was more, you know, was certainly much longer ago than some of the redevelopment happening in Portland and some of the other suburbs. So I'm not saying there's none of it. It's just, I haven't seen any here yet, just walking on here, right? So if you haven't seen any, in some neighborhoods, you would see a lot of that. You know, either a tear down of something older and you build something brand new, or a couple units brand new, or you know, right next door to it, you've got, you know, modern skinny or something like that. You just don't really see that here. Like, check this one out that I'm walking by, right? Beautiful. Just beautiful. And so right after I say that, of course, you know, we've got, I don't know when this one was built, but obviously we've got some newer stuff happening here, newer or remodeled across the street. I think maybe that one is newer and maybe the one next door is remodeled. I would have to verify that, but that's my guess. So I mentioned earlier, there hasn't been really a lot of infill, a lot of redevelopment here. Again, not that there's been none, just not as much as some areas, but I just want to clarify that there is still opportunity for that. And there's opportunity for, you know, some value add if you're looking for something that's maybe a fixer that you could add some value to. Coincidence right there, right? But you know, there's definitely some opportunity to find a project, whether you're an investor looking to add some value that way, or whether you are a, you know, homeowner looking to build some equity, some sweat equity. This is a great opportunity area to do that. It's always going to be popular here. It's always going to be in demand, and there's certainly a number of houses that could use some updating and that could benefit from, you know, some sweat equity. Okay, I wanted to point these couple homes out to you just because I think it demonstrates perfectly kind of the variety here in the area. So right here, you've got obviously remodeled, a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath, less than 800 square foot, a little bungalow. Looks super cute, looks really nicely done. That is listed for right in the mid-4s. So you're not gonna be, if it's dialed, you're gonna be in that price point, but you can certainly find for a little bit less if you're, you know, that size and maybe need some work. And I'll show you something kind of on the other end of the spectrum here. Okay, and now we are, you know, just down the street, just 1 block over from that little bungalow. You've got this classic, huge, colonial style home. This one doesn't have a sign in front of it, but it is for sale. It is, I believe, operates as an Airbnb. So, you know, not an apples for apples by any means, but again, that's kind of the point, is it shows the variety of housing here in the area, and the variety of kind of home and era and size and all of that. Gorgeous home, it's just very, very, very different from what we just looked at down the street. And check that thing out. Beautiful, right? Look at that. Okay, so I just walked out of the historic Northeast district, and we're still right next to it. So it depends on where you want to define where it starts and ends, but I'm in what's considered Northeast Gateway, and this whole area is getting revitalized. There's a master plan for this area just to completely change what this was and what it used to be. I'm gonna pop across the street here. You can see some of the newer stuff, but I believe this used to be like a rubber plant or something like that right over here. And they have a whole plan to make this a vibrant, basically an extension of 3rd Street of historic downtown, and just continue that lifestyle into this area here. We've got, you know, new commercial right here, the spa back here, a well thought out, you can hear the train behind me probably, but you know, just a well thought out extension of the downtown, and again, adding to that lifestyle here in the Northeast historic downtown area. Okay, so walking through this Northeast Gateway area, you can see some of the revitalization that's happening here, this new construction, the Grain Station Brew Works here. Just showed you the commercial building behind me. And then, up this way, there's some new commercial space. There's some new, I think, condos that way as well. So just you see that extension, that revitalization, that new development happening in what used to be just an industrial district, turning into that extension of downtown, more of a hangout space, more of a place to come and get your drink, get your coffee, hang out, and just enjoy the downtown and Northeast McMinnville area. So hopefully that was helpful to you. A little bit about Northeast Historic District, historic downtown McMinnville, the Northeast Gateway District here in McMinnville. Awesome community, awesome place to be, especially if you love getting out, having that lifestyle, that walkable lifestyle, historic homes, the classic charm, all of that stuff. We'll be back. I think we're gonna come back and talk a little bit more specifically about Northeast Gateway. So make sure you subscribe, keep tuning in if you wanna hear more about that when we do that. And then of course, if you're looking to make a move here in the Portland metro area or Oregon wine country, whether that's somewhere from locally or across the country, would love to connect with you. Stay up on all the recent content so you are getting to know the area before you make a decision. And then when you're ready, reach out. My contact information is below. We'd love to connect with you and see if we can help you find the home that you're looking for in the neighborhood that makes sense for you and helping you make that transition, get where you're trying to go. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.